Welcome back to Red Dragon, everyone, and we are delighted to have man of the moment, Luke Humphries, with us. Luke, it's been an absolute whirlwind couple of weeks for you, but we'll start with the big news. First of all, signing a new 5-year deal with Red Dragon. How pleased are you to commit your long-term future?
Yeah, it wasn't a hard choice for me. I think Red Dragon picked me up before I was even on the tour, before I was a professional, 4 or 5 years ago. And, they've put a lot of belief into me, and, they've worked hard with me. We've sort of processed a lot of darts, and Lee's worked really hard behind the scenes. Simon has as well, and Vince and that. So, it was a no-brainer for me. And we've committed a long-term future, and, I'm really looking forward to carrying on working with Red Dragon.
And it's, as the banner in my background says, it's the choice of champions, and it really is. The stable is just phenomenally packed with major winners.
Yeah, I mean, Red Dragon got a great record at the moment. You got the world number 1 and the world number 2. We had a clean sweep last weekend just gone, with me winning, Peter winning, and Rob Thornton winning. So, it's the stable to be in. They sort of having winners left, right, and centre, Red Dragon at the moment. And yeah, it's the place to be, isn't it?
Yeah, 100%. And just sort of touching on what there you said about Lee, obviously that you had that one set of darts that you were clinging to for dear life, that it was openly talked about the odd point in there because you couldn't change it. That period that you were working with Lee to come up with the new set, what was that like? Obviously, for a man that didn't like to change, that must have been tough.
Yeah, I mean, mentally, I think it was scary for me because I attached myself to that set of darts. And I was worried that maybe I wouldn't be able to change, the change to a different dart just wouldn't work for me. And, Lee would say we worked incredibly hard on changing things here, changing things there, quite similar to the actual original barrel, but, trying different front weight bits and drilling out the, where the shaft goes in and stuff. It was loads of complicated things that we tried, but, these darts he created for me at the World Championships, which are actually still the same ones I threw with at the Masters and this weekend just gone, they feel really good. They feel like very front weighted, is what I've always wanted, even though they're not specifically front weighted. They feel it, and just the angle of attack they go in is just what I wanted. And Lee's got a great record of creating some nice darts for players. He is a genius, to be fair to you, to be fair to him. Yeah, and like I said, worked hard, but I feel like I finally got a dart that I do feel quite comfortable with.
I remember at the Worlds, and I remember it distinctly, your exact words were, "These are the darts that will take me to the next level." Rewind just a few weeks, fast forward just a few weeks, and that first Pro Tour title was delivered. You stuck to your words.
Yeah, mate, I was practicing really well with them, in the few weeks before the Worlds. And even though I did have a decent run there, I felt like I could have played a lot better. The darts felt really good. And, the Masters, I didn't play nowhere near my best at all. And then you start questioning, you think, were they just a set of darts that were good for a few weeks, now something has to change? But in practice, they were going so good. And, from the moment I walked in on Saturday last weekend, the practice were going fantastic. I felt like it could have been my day. I don't usually think that, but, on Saturday, I really did feel like it could be my day, and it turned out to be. I threw some really solid darts, and, I'm going to stick with these ones.
Just before we touch on the Pro Tour, about the darts as well, I know a few players have spoken about this recently. When you get attached to one set, the world we live in now, we see so many dart players moaning on Twitter when their suitcase gets lost by an airline or something like that. Now, is that worry now eliminated from your mind, knowing that you can go and pick up another set and they're exactly the same, where the other ones, if they'd gone, you may have panicked?
Yeah, if the old ones would have gone, I would have panicked. I really would have, Now, I've like I said to you in the Masters interview that I did, they're exactly the same darts. So I was able to change within like having a set for a month and then going to a different set. And, I think I might continue to do that, after this weekend I'm playing in the Pro Tours. I'll probably, bring out a brand new set and wear them in for the UK Open. And so I don't have to, worry about committing to one set, wearing them in and then struggling to change again. I think, if I keep changing once a month or maybe, once every 2 months, trying a fresh set of darts all the time, I won't get attached. And, like you said, I don't think it'd be so much of a disaster if, my darts got lost now. I could, quite easily change and be comfortable with it.
Yeah, and then obviously on the Pro Tour that you threw some great stuff all day, but there was a couple of ones from the quarterfinal onwards, beating Joe Cullen in the last leg decider, beating Daryl Gurney in the last leg decider. When you come through two tight games like that in the final, like you said there, you must think, hang on a minute, today, it just may be the day.
Yeah, against Joe, he was actually the better player, but I stuck in there and was taking out last dart finishes here and there, and he missed that dart. He actually missed a match dart, didn't he, against me? And last dart again to win the game, and then the semi-final, I was 4-2 behind, come back, and missing a 9 dart to win that game, which would have been quite something. But 10 dart to that's when I did start thinking. I think today is going to be my day, and Ryan really didn't turn. He'd been playing fantastic, Ryan. The whole day, and he didn't really play his best in the final. But I thought I played quite a solid game. To be fair, I think my scoring was really good. A couple of legs, my finishing was a little bit wary, but 100 average in the final. That's all I can ask for, and it was good enough to win. And I think there's going to be plenty more of these to come, hopefully.
In that final, when you haven't won one and you're in control, that must be a nice feeling, knowing that you're not in a scrap to win your first ranking title.
Yeah, the last thing I wanted was that game to go 7-0 and, trying to close out a last leg decider again, it mentally draining. But, I did take a good command and lead in that game. And, Ryan sort of managed to slip it back. I think that 1-6-1 was, a killer moment. It really, he was sat on 16 after 9 and I took that big finish out. And, I think that was the killer moment for me that allowed me to, push on then and get the win in a comfortable circumstance. And yeah, like you say, it was nice to close out in an 8-4 instead of an 8-7. It was a lot better for me. Also, as well, not only your first ranking title, but another notable moment. It was the first Pro Tour win on that brand new Blade 6 triple core. Nothing can ever take it away. Your name will be etched as the first one to win a title on that. In terms of boards, did you notice much difference between that and the old one? I mean, if you ask Simon All, the director of Red Dragon, he'll tell you, I actually texted him an hour before play was to start and said, I love these boards. I've been practicing on, the Blade 6 already, but the new boards with the PDC bit on it, it just makes it look so great. They look amazing. And the way the darts sit in, they just benefit my throw so much. I know that sounds crazy, but, there isn't a huge amount of difference from the way they look, but the way they feel, the way the darts go in, these windmill boards are undoubtedly the best board that I've ever thrown on. And I did say to Simon, it could have been a key factor as to why I won, because, I did message him an hour before saying how good they were and how great I felt throwing on them. And, there's no coincidence that, I picked up my first title on them. They're great boards, and I think it's mad to say it, but I feel like these boards could take me to the next level. I
was going to say, because that was the one criticism of the old boards, that people starters used to get like you that likes them to stand up. They used to go in and then sink. That was a common criticism of the boards. They didn't hold the dart very well. But like you said there, these ones, it goes in and they just stand to attention and don't move.
That's exactly it. There wasn't, I'm not going to sit here and say the unicorn boards were awful, because they weren't. But like you say, when the dart goes in and then it sort of dips down a little bit, it doesn't leave you that perfect marker. I stack my darts upwards. And, with these Blade 6 boards, when that dart hits the treble, it doesn't deviate. It stays on its line. It stays. It doesn't pull down. That's what I wanted. I wanted that sort of feeling of having that first treble in there, because once that first one's in there for me, I can follow it, and I showed that this weekend. So it's these boards are fantastic, and I think that the PDC made the right decision going to these new ones.
I know you're a man that likes to tick off things, milestones on the career. Obviously, the ranking title is down there. Top 16 one, you are etching ever so close, just 2 places now on that ranking. Is that the next one to tick off, and how quickly do you think you can then break that top 16?
Yeah, that's definitely the next. I actually said that my first take was to finally to win a ranking title. That was the main one, and I did that quite early, to be fair. I did that in my first tournament, so then I said top 16, and I believe I will break into it. It's just a matter of when this year. My goal now is to try and break into it before the match play. I'd much prefer to be seeded for the match play than be a Pro Tour qualifier, because you could be running into Gurney Price Peter Wright first game. With all due respect, you'd rather not draw them first game and be a seed and not play an easier player, but play someone that's not as strong as them. So yeah, I believe that the target for me is to get into the top 16 just before the match play and be seeded for that, and carry on being seeded for the Grand Prix as well, because it does help you.
Just touching on what you said there about opening up as a seed, People obviously know the top 16 is dubbed as the Holy Grail, but it is so important for you guys because once you're in that top 16, you're in every TV tournament. And that's the carrot, isn't it, is the thing, because then you can really go on and get those ranking points or ranking money, which really then boosts you up.
Yeah, I mean, the top 16 is, there's not much difference between the top 16 and the top 8. Anywhere in there is good enough because, like you say, it puts you in all the majors. And this is what I was missing. 18 months ago was, I was always doing okay in world championships and stuff, but I was not on TV enough. I wasn't in the match play, I wasn't in the Grand Prix on all these new tournaments that I was in last year. And this is why I feel like I'm playing much better, is I'm getting more stage experience and I'm in these majors more often. I think that's what's helping me progress more quickly. And if I keep qualifying and we stay in that top 16, I believe that I can get better and better and work towards the top 10 in the future. But making these match plays and Grand Prix is what's hugely important, like you say, for the rankings. And I think this year it could be a big year for me because I'm not defending that much.
The UK Open is also on the horizon. It was your breakthrough tournament last year, getting to that final. Even though it was behind closed doors, still making that major final. Fingers crossed as we record this, we're all set to go back to Minehead. And is it those majors where you come alive and you thrive on that stage? And there was always this comparison to you and Dimitri, because Dimitri always used to come alive on the stage and his floor game at times wasn't the best. But now that you're doing it on the floor as well, and if you can thrive on the TV, the world's your oyster.
Exactly. If I'm playing well on the floor, then all these TV tournaments are going to be coming for me thick and fast. And I like the UK, but I don't know what it is about it. I think first to 10 format is I like a long format. First to 6 can be quite. If you have a few bad legs to start, you can struggle. But first to 10, usually the better player wins, and I think that's what benefits me. And I like the outside boards. I don't mind playing on them. I think they're lovely throws, to be fair. And if I don't make the main stage till the quarterfinals, it wouldn't bother me because I didn't last year and, made the final. And I like the UK Open. I feel like I'm one of the top players in form at the moment. And who's to say I can't go on and win it? Every major I go and I believe I can win it. It doesn't mean I'm gonna, but I believe I can. And that's what's important for the confidence, is to believe that you can win. Because if you don't believe, then you probably won't.
If we were to sit here in 12 months' time, chatting about a review of Luke Humphries 2022, what would you like to have achieved this year?
I think definitely another ranking title. Now I've got one. I'd love to back it up with another, whether that be a pro tour or a Euro tour, or even a major. I think I'd love to win another ranking title just to get double up. I think one's amazing. I'm glad I got over the line, but I believe that once that first one comes, I think a lot more can come with it. And like you say, the first is always the hardest. So yeah, I mean, I'm not going to set my targets too high. I'd love to win a major, but I'm not pushing too hard for that. So many good players, and today's day, it's going to be hard to win them. But to put another ranking title in there would be good, and to break into the top 16 is the two ultimate goals for me now left for the year. And I can have a good year. I just need to put my head down, practice hard, and take my chances.
Do you think players put too much pressure on themselves to win these TV titles?
I think we all do, to be honest, because that they mean a lot, and especially the people that are outside the top 8. We know how much a major win can do for you. If I win a major, I could nearly enter the top 8, and that's quite big for someone like me. To get in the top 8, it's huge. The top 4, I think there's not so much pressure on them because they're already in everything, and they're probably in Premier Leagues and stuff like that. So it's more pressure on the outside players. But yeah, I think that some players do certainly put pressure on themselves in them, but if you can find that balance of not and just letting the darts go and relaxing, I think that the opportunity is there. And I feel like if I can do that myself and relax, because sometimes on the big stage, I do try too hard and try to close games out, try too hard to close games out. So if I could just relax and let the darts just do what they're supposed to, you could see me picking one up this year.
I know you don't like to dwell on stuff, but the Michael van Gerwen defeat at the Masters, I know that you always look for positives. 5 match starts is obviously a kick in the guts for anyone, but how much did you learn from that? And obviously not trying to make the same mistake again. Could you, on reflection, take so much from that defeat?
Yeah, I didn't feel nervous or anything on the darts. They just didn't go in, and that sometimes can happen. It's not a case of people, me bottling it or, nerves getting in the way. Just, important moments sometimes you miss. It's not about nerves. It's about maybe trying too hard, just that little extra bit. The double 12 and the double 3, I think it was, out of the 5 darts were quite close. It easily could have dropped in. So, but they didn't. And, I think it was credit to Michael from, he hit 174 at the right time. I think I was on 81 and he was on 281. So, he put the pressure on me. If he wouldn't have done that, I might have closed the game out quite easily. So, the credit is to Michael because he did put the pressure on, and I think next time in that situation, I might take a step back and have a breather. I think sometimes I'm capable of rushing ups, and I think the only thing I learned from is take a step back, take your time, and I think I did actually in the UK Open in the semi-finals. I took my time on the double sit. I took a step back and put it straight in. So I think that's the only thing I took from that is take a bit more time and relax a bit more.
Premier League obviously started last week as well. I know pre-announcement that you were the one that said, look, no one else was putting their hand up. I want it. I might not be ready yet, but give me it and I'll run with it. Did you watch the first one of the new format, and how much would you like to play in that environment in the new format?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, I think, the right players were picked. Obviously, Rob, quite unlucky not to be in, but I think, I don't think I was unfortunate not to be in. I think the right people got picked, and I did watch it. I thought it was brilliant. I really enjoyed it. I do like the format. I think the PDC are always evolving and changing and trying to make things better for people and the viewers. I mean, and I think it's a good thing. It's we play knockout darts all the time, and I think it's fun. I think it needed to be reshaken up, rejuvenated. The only thing I would say is maybe watching the same 8 players every week. It could get, because you could be watching the same game. Maybe they might up it to 10 or 12 and rejig the fixture every week and different players. But, I'd love to play in that. And I've started the year off well. Everybody knows how, that's my ultimate goal, and it's been the Premier League. So, I'd love to play in it. I think I'd flourish, but, I've got to let the darts do the talking and pick up a big major, because that's the only way I'm going to put myself in the mix. So, but it's coming, Phil. I think that Premier League ain't far away one day.
Luke, absolute pleasure sitting down and talking to you for Red Dragon, mate. And again, congratulations, one, on the new deal with Red Dragon and picking up your first ranking title with the PDC, mate. Well done, and very best of luck for the Pro Tours this weekend.
Thank you very much, Phil. Cheers.